Every day, the NHS has to clean millions of pieces of surgical equipment and instruments before they can be safely reused in hospitals. It's an intensive process. The equipment is thoroughly washed with detergent for over an hour, then dried, inspected, and finally sterilised by heating to over 120 Celsius. Now, this process is incredibly effective at getting rid of bacteria, viruses, and other nasty pathogens. It is the absolute gold standard as far as the NHS is concerned. But it does get through an awful lot of resources, like electricity, water, and detergent. This vital process costs the NHS hundreds of millions of pounds each year. But what if there was a way to make it cheaper? Scientists from the University of Southampton have come up with an ingenious new way to clean things. It doesn't use detergent, but it does use bubbles. It's a deceptively simple handheld device which cleverly uses bubbles and sound. Professor Tim Leighton is its inventor, and he hopes it will revolutionise the way we clean.
Now imagine that this tile, it's sensitive, you can't put it in a dishwasher, but you've got to clean it. Okay. So you have there a pen, and I want you to draw on it, and then mark from that pen, imagine it's a chemical contaminant, something hazardous or a bacteria. And all you have is cold water, and it doesn't clean it. It can't move it. No. Then I flick this switch here, and it turns on the bubbles and ultrasound, and you can see it cleans it immediately.
That's very, very neat.
This cleaning effect is being achieved purely by sound waves and microscopic bubbles. To demonstrate, Professor Leighton has scaled up one of these tiny bubbles by 100-fold.
So I've got a bubble that's actually large enough for you to see, and it's floating there, and we are filming it here with this camera so you can see it on the screen there. And what we're going to do is drive this with a sound field and see what happens, and you get that by pressing the button there.
Oh, right, OK, yeah. It's kind of shimmering.
Now turn it off.
Yes.
And the shimmering will stop. Now, in the device, we have microscopic bubbles, but all with their surfaces shimmering and rippling away. And round those ripples, you get shear and rubbing that will lift dirt off surfaces.
This shimmering makes the bubble abrasive enough to scour surfaces and clean them. And there's another effect the sound field has on the bubbles that makes them even more thorough cleaners.
Here I have a model of a bubble, scaled up again. And here I have a surgical instrument, here. If I was to create a pressure difference by blowing between the surgical instrument and the bubble, what do you think would happen?
I think that would blow away.
Right, so let's have a look.
In fact, the balloon isn't being blown away. The pressure difference draws it onto the surgical instrument. And this is what is happening at a far smaller scale in the device. The microscopic bubbles are pulled onto the surface to be cleaned, right into the tiny, hard-to-reach cracks and crevices. The impressive thing is, despite the fact this prototype uses cold water straight from the tap, it cleans as effectively as conventional washing methods. It consumes only a small amount of electricity and needs no detergent. It's currently undergoing trials in the medical industry, but its portable, lightweight design means that in the near future it could be used to clean cars, planes, or even our hands. It's early days, but you can see the potential uses in industry, homes, and in hospitals. If it takes off, then it could certainly save the NHS a lot of money.